New Jersey-based Goya Foods has grown to become the largest family-owned food company in the United States. In part two of my interview with Goya President and CEO Robert Unanue, we talk about how he became involved with the box office sensation The Sound of Freedom, as well as his latest passion, Goya's new initiative to combat child trafficking. Here's part two of my interview with Bob Unanue. In 2020, you decide to donate 1 million pounds of food plus, multi-million pounds of food, to the people of the country. And you're invited by the White House to go and be part of a formal presentation of that. Now, tell us first, you had a relationship with the White House during the Obama administration. You collaborated with that White House. Tell us about that and then what happened later.
Yes, with the Obama administration, their chef, Sam Cass, they said, hey, the White House wants to reach out to Goya because we represent and are really entrenched in the Latino community, which is more obese and more diabetic than other communities. So we want you to join Michelle Obama's Let's Move campaign and the USDA My Plate, which takes the nutritional pyramid and puts it into portion control, a plate, Spanish and English. They wanted us to, we put it on millions of cans. We worked with the White House to send a message out in different ways that you need to eat right and eat in controlled portions. So we answered the call.
And then in 2020,
yes,
you're invited to go back to the White House for this donation of goods. And you are in front of President Trump and you say something that wasn't vetted.
I saw President Trump as a guy who really was focused on life. You know, I said, this guy is, he's for life. He values life. And I wanted to get closer to him. And I went through different people, but COVID enters, we're out of food. We're an essential business, but all businesses, work is essential.
Right.
We were working, but they shut everybody down. They shut down their spirit, their reason to get up every day. God, family, work is one of the worst things that ever happened to this country. It destroyed the spirit. And we were one of the few people working where other things, you couldn't go to mass, even outside. They wanted to shut those things down. And it was an attack on the working class, an attack on the people's attack on our spirit. And I wanted to reach out to give the country a gift of food when there was none. However, I wanted to run it through the chief executive. I wanted to give it through Donald J. Trump so that he could find a way to us get close to him as a Hispanic company and community, and him get back to us.
You say, I'm going to quote you. You said, we're truly blessed to have a leader like President Trump who is a builder. That set people off.
Right.
There were people calling for boycotts of Goya. What did you think when you saw this titanic reaction to this very kind of innocent line that you had uttered at the White House?
You know, it just came, like I said, it was a voice from the word came out of my mouth from the Holy Spirit. And I thought nothing of it. But the next few days, actually a couple weeks, my face is on television every day. Laura Ingraham, who you know.
Met her once or twice.
Yes. I was on her program and she said, are you going to apologize? And I said, I started some nonsense answer. She says, are you going to apologize? And I said, hell no. And the fact that I was there, that I was at other White Houses, that I was there offering food for people, a country in need of food, created a call for a boycott, created a backlash and a boycott.
Yeah.
And it was so successful, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, we did so well, we decided to name her honorary employee of the year. But you know, and I talked to people all over, and they say, you know, when that boycott hit, we went out and we supported you. And not just our base was strong, new people coming in from all walks of life. Only the elites, some of the elites like Julian Castro and AOC, Lin-Manuel Miranda of Hamilton, came out because these are the woke elites that wished us harm. And I think that's part of the evil that's around us.
Did you feel it was a test? You had to at least entertain the idea of walking this back, because I'm sure you were inundated not only from outside but from within.
I got hammered from organizations that wanted me to appear for them, to apologize and to walk it back, from parts of my board. But the letters I've gotten since then and still get are very positive. So I believe the Holy Spirit put me in that position, but also cloaked our company, cloaked me in that, and gave me the courage, because yes, we were hammered all over the place, but I wasn't going to back down.
What unites Latinos? What in your mind unites Latinos?
Well, you know, Latinos come from
Everywhere.
everywhere. We're all here. We are the second largest Latino country in the world. We'll be the biggest group by 2050 or next
Sooner.
week.
Yeah,
Sooner, yes.
exactly. Last Wednesday.
Last Wednesday. And so politically, of course, you know, I might get in trouble with this one, but there's communities that come into this country that are, when the U.S. is corrupting certain groups. You come into this country and say, hey, look, do nothing on your own. We'll take care of you. And so they end up, you can take hardworking people and turn them into leeches. And, you know, we're a country of immigrants, and people have come into this country working hard. But when you come in and you're handed something, look at our big cities. It's where, you know, it's all being, we're all being corrupted to some extent.
The mindset of dependency.
God gives us this life for a purpose, not to be, you know, to wake up every morning with purpose. And that's what COVID did. It took that away. We got to wake up with a God purpose of God, family, work.
And that's what unites Latinos?
That's what unites Latinos are those values.
God,
family, work, country, education.
You have always been very civic-minded as a company, as a CEO. I know in 2021 during Hurricane Ida, you all sent hundreds of thousands of pounds of free food to the folks in Louisiana that were suffering from that. So you've always had a mind on what can we do to change this culture and this country, not just keep buying our stuff. Tell me how, in that mindset, why did you decide to invest in this Sound of Freedom movie? Because there's a link here between an organization you're going to found and this investment in the movie. Why did you decide to go invest in this film?
Well, you know, our giving has always been, you know, for the community. And actually, we did distribute food, not just in the U.S., but around the globe. So several years ago, in the Trump White House, I was there for a presentation, Hispanic Heritage Month. And I run into Eduardo Verástegui, who I'd run into maybe 15 years prior or so when he did Bella, which is a beautiful movie. And he did Little Boy.
He's familiar. Of course, people on our audience know Eduardo well. So they know who you're talking about. So
he goes, hey, Bob, I'm doing this thing. There's this guy, you know, Tim Ballard. He's ex-immigration guy. He's an officer. He's working. We're working on a film where he's going and rescuing children that are being trafficked. So this whole topic of trafficking and exploiting children, and younger and younger and younger, where being sold to pay off debts to come into this country, exploited, and it's one of the biggest industries in the world. This trafficking. It's hundreds of billions of dollars. The trafficking, along with the drugs, exploiting these children. So, but I knew nothing about this.
Well, he was having trouble getting investors because of the subject matter. Because people are like, human trafficking, who wants to go see this on a Friday night, right?
It's dark and all this other things, but it's real. And so it's this reality. If we can continue to live in a bubble, unless this is brought to the light and truth, unless we can see what's happening, then there's a call to action. Yeah. So I see this movie and I said, wow, this is something that is incredible.
He didn't have the money to buy the movie back because Fox had it, and he needed to buy it back, which is really like double the budget of the movie.
Right. Fox had it, 20th Century Fox, and Disney bought it, and Disney had it, and he had a bunch of people supporting him, but it was at this point where he needed to get it away from Disney, because they wanted to kill it. Everybody wanted to kill it. Netflix, Amazon, nobody wanted to carry it. So, and we went through all these for a couple of years. Yeah. And but so about 2 years ago or so, I went to Eduardo, and again, I think it's the Holy Spirit. I didn't know what he needed. He didn't tell me what he needed. We offered, hey, I want to help you with this, get this movie out to
the public,
the light of day. And he stopped. He prayed. He was, and we were able to get it out of there. It stayed for a while until Angels came along, Angel Studios, and it's over 18 million views now.
I mean, you put your money where your mouth is. It opens up a whole new endeavor at Goya. You create something called Goya Cares.
Right.
Tell me about Goya Cares.
Yes, Goya Cares was inspired by the movie, by seeing the horrific tragedy and evil of child trafficking. I'm talking down to single digit and beyond. It's, there's no line. There's no line between the womb and now after in life. This has to change. I took a leap of faith. Eduardo's an incredible guy, and I really didn't think at a certain point that I said that investment's gone, but it wasn't the money.
This child trafficking crisis has gotten worse because of the open border, where we just release thousands of children a year into the country with no one. They're just turned loose.
Well, HHS, Health and Human Services, ORR, the Office of Refugee Resettlement, so far this year, 85,000 children are lost. The Latino is the biggest exploited group. Mexico is the biggest provider, but it's not Mexico. Everything's coming through Colombia, Panama, through Mexico, from every country on earth. Right. But mainly the Latino is the most exploited person.
And the women, 70% of human trafficking victims are women, 25% are children. What is Goya Cares doing?
What we've done is we've brought a coalition together of different groups. ICMEC, the International Center for Missing and Exploited Children, Catholic Charities of San Antonio, of New York, Covenant House, many groups that focus on also child trafficking. Also, which I think is very exciting, is we partner with Monique Burrs, which is, we've got videos and educational videos and lesson plans for the schools, taking the message into the schools to educate children, teachers, and parents. Where actually the parents are involved too. Exactly.
What's next for you? What do you see as next for you and for Goya? What's left that you'd like to accomplish?
We'd like to spread our of course our company. For Goya, we'd like to go around the globe And there's already in Spain 5.5 million Latinos in Spain, and we're in Spain.
Wow.
Not only with our olives and olive oil, but that my father put up, but distribution, and so Latinos are growing around the country, but around the world. But we also want our message of family, loving each other, caring for each other. The idea of Goya Cares is caring for each other. We need to, as children, as people, stand up for the other person, stop looking inward, and stand up for the other person. Love your neighbor as yourself, and we can save lives and we can change the direction of this country.
Well, thank you for standing up for people and really creating and extending this Goya family. It's incredible to see in person. Thank you.
Love
Great
you.
to see you, Bob. Love you, too.
Great.
Thank you.
You can find out much more about the amazing work of Goya Cares, Bob's new initiative to battle child trafficking, at GoyaCares.com. My thanks to all the Goya folks for their hospitality and helping us with the interview.